Hi, this is Greg Green from Flip Schools, and I want to do part two of our series on the flipped classroom for administrators. But let's just review a little bit of what we learned in part one, and that is that the reason that we're flipping our class on a kind of a big picture piece is that we want to offer all students the opportunity to learn in a safe, supportive, technology-rich, um, expert-filled scenario or situation or platform. And so we're able to do that by just simply reversing the instructional process where students review information outside of class and then come to school and practice with their teacher. Another reason that we want to reflip the classroom is because we started looking at the actual time on task that students had. And we found that schools scheduled themselves for normally 180 days or roughly 180 days. But in reality, with some of the programs that we run in schools actually interfere with that learning routine. And so we, in essence, um, actually educate our students for about 120 school days per year. When you take a look at the first day, the last day, exam days, maybe vacation days taken by a student or staff member, and then absenteeism, maybe you go to a field on a field trip, or maybe you're absent for the day on emergency. And then also we have counselors and so forth that are required by law to go in and review information with students. We average about 180 school days uh, or instructional days that were kind of part of our routine in school. Well, when we found that um, to be alarming, that was the first alarm that went off. But the second one was when we actually did our observations, we found that because of classroom disruptions, because someone coming, maybe interrupting at the door, because administrators had called the student, um, discipline issue in class, teacher got off track for whatever reason. The teacher tended to dominate 40 minutes of a 60-minute class period trying to get the message out, trying to tell them what's important. With 5-minute opening and closing exercises, a student actually in reality have about 10 minutes of a 60-minute class period to practice, ask questions, receive help, um, sit down with other students to discuss it. And so there's no wonder in our mind, all of a sudden when you take a look at the school calendar and now you take a look at the actual classroom routine, you'll find that students only had 20 hours of support per school year. When we're asked to increase the rigor within the classroom, all of a sudden we do not have a calendar or a school or a platform to do that. And so 20 hours of studying advanced algebra with support, or chemistry with support, or physics with support, no wonder the students are struggling. So our flipped classroom looks similar to this. Instead of the teacher dominating the conversation in class, we have um, the student's activity dominate the classroom routine. By flipping it enables us to actively engage in practice for 40 minutes with an expert. And also schools then, like us, quadruple the support for their students. Another question that I get often, an issue, is that will my students still have homework? Yes. As a school, you want to share information, your next day assignment with your student. And your student's job is to review that information. But as a school, you want to also check this and make sure that a student does review it by having the teachers grade, like such as grade the notes the students take or quiz the students, because you want to be an important part of the routine. You just don't want people to be asked to watch video. There's an expectation to watch video, expectation to review classroom information. And that routine, that expectation is similar to what we have expectation of students doing homework in today's environment. When we're doing homework, it should be the reviewing information and not the processing of it. You know, we don't want students to actually be processing the information outside um, the school per se, because we want the expert to support them in the process, so we're not wasting a lot of time and getting off target and then having to adjust all the time. The big thing about that is you have to put the importance into reviewing the information. Students have a responsibility of reviewing the information. If you have a class that's extremely difficult to deal with, then show the video at the beginning of class for the first 5 minutes and then proceed with the classroom activity, because you still have all that time to work directly with your student. Don't let those things slow you down. The flipped classroom is really an active learning environment. It's not a passive learning environment, it's an active one. And so teachers need to be engaged with their students, walking around, assisting their students, making sure that they know where every student is within the learning process, and now they have time to do so. So this concludes part 2 of our series on the flipped classroom for administrators.